let's talk about PlayStation VR 2. Now, Cole, I kind of want you to hear your thoughts first because you had a lot to say in the last discussion with this, so kind of just want to continue off with that.
The specs look good. I mean, I'm excited for it, but y'all kind of know where I stand as far as this cord situation. I'm not really a big fan of that. I'm not really a big fan of the barrier to entry. Taylor, what's up?
Oh, that's just for YouTube. When I put a link
Oh,
to the
sorry.
to the next video, I was just
Follow
was
his
gonna let
finger.
you- I
Follow
thought
his
you were gonna say
fingers,
something. I
y'all.
was gonna say,
follow him if
fingers.
click here and you'll see the video where Cole describes what he does or does not like about.
Follow Taylor's
Oh, okay,
fingers.
okay,
They
cool.
won't steal you
Cool.
wrong.
What? So the resolution is a step up from the Quest 2. What was it? 2000. I'm trying to pull them up and I can't find them.
So I pulled up it. IGN posted a comparison specs of PlayStation VR 2, PlayStation VR 1, Oculus Quest 2, and the Valve Index. So PlayStation has a per eye resolution of 2000 by 2040 per eye.
Ben, what can you say about what do you think about that? The resolution.
Crunch the numbers.
To me, it seems like an incremental upgrade from the Quest 2. Like, is it substantial? Do you think, or?
Here's a question for you because you own a Quest 2. Do you ever notice the resolution of the panels anymore?
No. But I will say, yeah, I did notice it in Quest 1. But I will say better resolution, like you would notice like virtual desktop. If you pull up virtual desktop, higher resolution would be very nice. But
but you're talking about the rendering resolution of the game. I'm talking about the resolution of the displays themselves. So the only reason you would notice that is if you could see the pixels. And right now on the PSVR 1, you can see the pixels. That's called the screen door effect. It looks like you're looking through a screen door. You see all the individual squares.
That doesn't exist in the Quest 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so you're telling me that virtual desktop could render a perfectly like an image exactly like my PC, and the resolution, as long as the screen door effect's not there, could render that to look just like that? Because I thought the resolution would make that clearer.
You're limited by your graphics processing capabilities. Okay. If you are running 3090 RTX 3090 Ti, you're going to get some really fucking amazing graphics on Half-Life Alyx, something like Half-Life Alyx.
And good for you for getting that graphics card. You know, good.
Yeah, right. Good fucking luck.
Yeah, pay $4,000 for it.
Yeah, exactly. But so the fact that the Quest is mobile hardware means that even though you've got a 4K screen,
gotcha.
That's not what the game is rendering at.
And that makes sense too to what you said, because when me and Thomas watched Dune in the Quest and we downloaded it natively to the Quest, it was shockingly clear. Like it was more clear than us sitting. Like I felt like it was almost odd because we were sitting in a theater environment and it was so clear. Like being in a theater, it would not look that good.
Yeah, it's probably because you were closer physically to the screen than you would be able to be comfortably in a usual theater.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, because you're just playing a video. So as long as the video source is high resolution, you've got really high resolution.
It was a 4K
panels.
stream.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you're getting like really awesome resolution that way. So this is where it's like the resolution of the headset itself is only important up to the point where you don't notice it anymore, right?
That's right.
Where you don't notice the pixels.
We're like diminishing returns at this point, right?
Yeah. So I think we're at the point where the vast majority of people are not going to notice. Really, really hardcore VR people might notice, but the fact that it's more than Oculus Quest 2 means that we're well past the point where you're going to notice, especially if you're, if you're playing video or something like that, you're not going to see it. It's not going to matter. So the question is, what can the PS5 do in terms of rendering resolution on these games? Can it get up to a good enough place where we feel like this is worth the extra $500 over the Quest 2 for the whole thing?
And this is kind of my thing is, and I think it can. I mean, as far as graphically goes, like graphically, it's going to be unbelievable. But to my point, the Quest is better gameplay wise, just for the sheer fact that you're not tethered with the cord and you can take it anywhere. You can go anywhere. You don't have to take your PS5 or your headset and all that crap. You can just take your little Oculus Quest and go anywhere, and you can play it in your garage, or then you can move to your backyard. You can move here, move there. And I play games with the Quest plugged into the wall, and it's still a hindrance. Like, yeah, if you're playing something like Half-Life Alex, like that would be better untethered, but I know you can't. You absolutely can't. So, I mean, I guess like a driving game or something where you're sitting in place, it wouldn't matter. But for the most part, VR, I like to move around.
No, I might be wrong. I'm not super tech savvy when it comes to VR, but I just know when it comes to just even audio, because audio is my thing. Like, would I prefer to mix in Bluetooth headphones for convenience? Absolutely. But there's no way I'm going to get the sound quality that I would if I just wired it in.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to assume that that's how it works for VR as well.
Yeah,
But-
When you're dealing with a wireless connection, I assume there is some limit you're going to get. Is that fair to say?
yes, absolutely. There's no like either you're going to stream it from a powerful PC and do there's I forget what it's called, but you like not remote desktop, virtual desktop. I think
You mean
can
the
stream
Oculus
your
Link?
games. There's the Oculus Link, but like that's the cable, right?
Oculus
Right.
actually has a wireless solution now. Well, they
Oh,
make it
okay. So
wireless.
yeah, so you're either going to
Okay.
get some latency with the wireless solution and a much better image and ability to play higher end games because you're running them off a PC, or you're going to have to deal with the wire and have no latency. Right.
But I still think, like Thomas, as you mentioned in this video that will be up again here.
Follow his finger, y'all.
Follow my finger. Don't say that. But as you said there, it is more of a luxury product, the PlayStation VR, because I do think day by day the average consumer is going to look at the Oculus Quest 2 or 3 or whatever, Oculus Quest, Meta Quest, whoever knows what comes out next, and goes, yeah, that's more akin to what I need. I'd prefer that Bluetooth headphone, easy, I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Like, I think a lot of people are going to just be drawn to that. I think it wins in the majority market because of that. I don't.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there's no contest. There's absolutely no contest. Like the Oculus is going to be way more accessible because you're going to need a PS5 to even run this thing.
Well, I do want to
And
say
that's rare right now.
so here are the things I think are substantial upgrades. Like the Oculus runs at 90. Was it 90? Is it 90 frames per second? 90 hertz? Ben,
Yeah,
I think.
It says
the Quest 2
it says 120.
It goes up to 120, but no games run at 120.
That's right.
Like
that's right.
Like there's a few games that run at 120, but like it's almost like in a beta form or something.
Yeah,
like
they didn't even unlock 120 until after launch.
Yep. So PSVR runs up to 120. That's a big difference. I think that's pretty substantial because that's like smoothness, takes out motion sickness and stuff. I think that's pretty big. And then the field of view is a little bit bigger, which I think that would be about the same kind of increase as resolution, which would be not really noticeable.
No,
Just
actually,
to be specific, field of view for PlayStation VR 2 is 110 and Oculus is 90.
Yeah, what do you
think
about that?
Field of view matters a lot more than resolution, especially.
No, I do too. I do too. But I'm thinking between 110 and 90, do you think it's that big of an upgrade to even really notice a difference? Because I would argue the Valve Index 130 to 90 would be pretty big, but 90 to 110, I don't know that you'd really notice.
And
an extra 20
PlayStation VR
degrees.
1 has 100, so it's 100. It's even bigger than Oculus Quest 2 right now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like the PSVR's field of view sometimes feels restrictive. So I don't know, like 110 is probably not as much as I would want. Like I would love if it was 130 like the Index, but I think the wider field of view that you can get, the better. Because it's immersion. Like it's all extra immersion. Like you have your peripheral vision in there, and it's just a deeper experience. However, like when we're talking about games specifically, and we're talking about like smooth locomotion, a lot of the fight against VR sickness is reducing that peripheral vision anyway. So it's like, how much are you really using that extra field of view unless you're standing still?
Yeah, because all the games that they'll like make your field of view smaller when you walk to get rid of that. One thing though is eye tracking is huge. I feel like, especially because I know Oculus was talking about doing it with like when you talk to people, and you can move your eyebrows and stuff, or they can see where your eyes are moving, and foveate. What's it called? Where the resolution gets better where your eyes are at? Is that foveated rendering?
Yeah, foveated rendering. Yeah, I feel like that's the killer combo. So hopefully Sony can have some sort of out of the box solution to handle some of this, but I think a lot of it's going to be on the engine developers. So Epic and Unity to implement good foveated rendering paired with eye tracking. I don't know if there's already like boxed solutions that developers can work with. I haven't developed in VR in a little while, but the idea that you could track where the user's eye is looking and then make everything they're not focusing on lower resolution so that you can drive up the graphical quality of what they're actually focusing on, that's foveated rendering.
Yeah, so
that already
can,
happens in some games like I think Resident Evil 7 in VR has that, where it's like everything on the peripheral is really blurry compared to what you're likely looking at, which is dead center. However, you can move your eyes in Resident Evil 7,
you can see it,
and you can see it out of the corner of your eye if you're looking for it.
A lot of
if you have eye tracking, that's going to move with you, so you'll never notice it. You'll never notice the savings that are happening, which is the killer combo. In my
pretty
opinion.
incredible.
Eye tracking has some other fun things. Like I think especially for Facebook, when they're trying to get like the social experience in there, I think the eye tracking is going to be important for further revisions of the Quest. But unless PlayStation's doing something like a PlayStation Home VR, which they should,
that should come back.
I don't see the eye tracking like fun extras as all that important. I think it's more
do you think that Facebook will launch their app on PlayStation? Because why not?
Which one? Horizons?
Facebook Worlds, Horizons, whatever they go with. I mean, if I was them, I'd want to be on every device possible.
I doubt
get everybody logging into that.
I don't think Sony. I don't think Facebook would be opposed to it, but I don't think Sony wants to do that.
Like they got like Altspace. Is Altspace on the PSVR?
I don't think so.
No, but Rec Room is.
Rec Room is. I mean, I don't really see why they wouldn't.
I think I personally think that Meta does not want to do that because I don't think they want other people dictating their future anymore. I think they view VR as the great escape out of having their future dictated to them by Microsoft and Apple, which it has always been.
That's true.
And Google to some extent. I think if they own the headset, they own the service that you have to log into, and they own the thing you're running, that's the ideal for them.
Yep.
So I get the idea that they would want more people in the software, but I don't think they care all that much. I think they want more people in their hardware.
What's crazy is, you realize that they hired an additional 10,000 people to work on the metaverse? Did y'all hear that article?
I didn't hear 10,000. No,
I mean, that's more than like Rockstar has working on all of their. I mean, any gaming studio, no one has 10,000 people working on a single.
Well, I have a fundamental question. I have a fundamental question about Oculus in general compared to PlayStation. Do we think they really care about gaming on VR? Like truly care about it?
No, I think they do, because I think that they see it as a bigger picture. I think they see it as us four get on. We can go to a game, go to a movie, do this, do that. I think they do, and I think they know that gamers push the technology.
Because I think that the difference between Oculus and what PlayStation VR 2 is going to be, I think PlayStation VR 2 is going to fundamentally be a game experience. And I just don't see. I think Oculus is going in the opposite direction. I think they're going in I think you said it before, Cole. They're going in a social direction.
Yeah.
Well, PlayStation, I feel, is
Games-
going to push the boundary of what's possible in VR from a gaming perspective.
Games will be a part of that social world, but they're not gonna be to the status of like a PlayStation.
You're not getting a Horizon VR game on Oculus.
You're getting Farmville.
Yeah. I mean, I think Metaverse has one, right? Ready at Dawn. That's the one studio I know that they have under their belt. I don't know any of the other ones they have. I haven't seen a pressing need for them to acquire any. I'm trying to think. There was one more studio I think that was associated with them, but I don't know it. And I don't think they really. I think they are focused on other things, and I think that's probably for the best in terms of sales and really getting VR into the mainstream. But I don't think that's what Sony's trying to do here.
Oh, Insomniac.
Did they make it with Oculus?
They made Stormland. I was exclusive to Oculus.
But you can't play that on the Quest, right?
No, you can't.
No, it was a Rift game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going away from that. I think that maybe was initially what the vision was, but I know they've had a lot of shakeups since it's been bought.
I think they care about gaming as long as it keeps people interested and pushes headsets out. I don't think Mark Zuckerberg cares about gaming at all. I think he sees it as a means to an end to the social experience, like you guys are talking about.
Money.
And
I agree.
Yeah. So in that sense, what do I think the better gaming experience is going to be in the next 5 years? There's absolutely no doubt that it's going to be PSVR 2.
Oh yeah,
100%.
100%.
Absolutely no doubt, because
100%.
games are going to start leaving the Quest 2 behind. They already have.
It's going to become like a Nintendo Switch situation.
Yeah,
where it's just
we
not going
were
to be
able to get
power
Saints
enough.
and Sinners on the Quest 2, and some developers are switching their kind of development model so that they're including the Quest in the umbrella in order to move units, right? But they're limiting themselves in order to do that. So the best games, the most boundary pushing, the most interesting, the shit like Half-Life Alyx, and hopefully this new Horizon game, which was part of this announcement. Hopefully it's not just an experience. Hopefully it's a legit game.
Me too. I hope that.
Which I think it will be, because Firesprite is developing it and they're seasoned devs at this point. That's all going to be on PC, and it's going to be on PSVR 2. And if PlayStation is as interested in VR as it seems they are, it seems that they're not at all cowed by the recent coolness toward PSVR, like over the past couple of years where things have really dried up in PSVR land. It seems like they're not cowed by that, and it seems like they want to reinvest and they want to do it right this time. And I think the biggest differentiating factor beyond all of this stuff, which OLED display, great. 2000 pixels per eye, fantastic. Up to 120 hertz, great. 110 degrees field of view, eye tracking, awesome. It's running on the PS5, great. Best part about this, DualSense controls.
Absolutely.
And DualSense in the headset
In the
itself.
headset. That's right.
So that's incredible.
That's right.
And vibration adds so much. Like that walkabout putt game that I've been playing, I was just thinking, how do they make it feel so good when you hit this ball? It feels like I'm hitting, like it's the sound and it's the vibration of the controller. It really feels like you make contact with it. But just that little putt motion, and you feel that little vibration, it's humongous. And you don't realize how, even in PlayStation games, when you're playing a PlayStation controller, you turn the rumble on and you turn it off. It's almost like instinctive. Like you don't even really realize it's happening, but it's so immersive.
Oculus Quest 2 has some pretty good haptics right now, but PlayStation is changing the game with haptics.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see how that integrates with the VR experience.
No, I would say this is, I kind of disagree with you there. The ultimate gaming VR experience, it is graphically, but like I've said this so many times, I just like to be able to move in VR, and I like to be able to walk around and not pull my PlayStation off the counter and stuff like that. But I'm glad this exists, and I think, do y'all see a future where PlayStation 7 is just a VR headset? Like you could play flat screen TVs. Like you don't think that this will ever be like their standalone? This will be it. This will be the PlayStation.
I don't. I would go towards no.
I don't really either, but I mean, it's kind of cool to think about.
I
can
think it'd be
see,
cool. I think it'd be super cool.
So
But
I could see
I don't
PS
think they throw all their eggs in that basket.
if they don't do that, they will at least do the PSVR 3 should be totally standalone, or at least like we talked about before, where you have the option to plug it in or unplug it. So you have the option for it to be a standalone, like a Quest, and then you can harness the power of the PS5 whenever you need it, like the Oculus Link cable.
That's what I was actually hoping that they were going to do with this the second iteration of PSVR 2. I understand that it's going to drive the cost to produce these things down quite a bit if you don't have to have that wireless component to it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they really wanted to be competitive with Oculus, that's what they would do. However, do they need to be competitive with Oculus? Oculus is going to sell more units. I think we're all in agreement that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But Oculus is going to occupy the lowest tier of the VR space.
It would be the Wii.
Occupy...
It would be essentially like the Wii, where it's like
it's
the
going to be mobile. It's going to be mobile phones. That's the tier that it's going to occupy.
See.
And the PSVR is going to be the gaming PC.
No, the PSVR is going to be the console. And the highest end is still going to be the PC, and it's going to be the Valve Index and HTC Vive, whatever. But so like what they have to do, what PlayStation has to do here is make sure the price is right. I think this headset's going to be fairly expensive.
400. I'm calling it.
Yes, I think
you don't think they've lost the market though, because like when PSVR came out, the Quest didn't exist. This was the consumer VR. There was no other one. Every other average gamer had to have a PC. You had to have a Quest. I mean, you had to have the light stations and all that crap you had to have with VR. It was so inaccessible back then. But now the game has changed so much between the PSVR release and the PSVR 2. Everyone has Quest, and everyone's buying Quest. Their parents are buying Quest. Their aunts are buying Quest. Like, it's spreading.
Well,
and now, like,
why would you go define everybody though?
Dude, I've seen. Have y'all not seen a lot of people buying buying Quest?
Yeah,
like people that aren't.
I agree, it's
gamers.
expensive, but
like it's almost getting. It's not to the Wii status yet, but it is kind of trending that direction a little bit.
I'd have to look up sales for it. I think there is still people who are on the fence about VR, and
so I'm just.
Yeah, I don't think that. I feel like there's a lot more people that are going to join this market within the next 5 years.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you guys have seen. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Oculus is running a really pithy ad campaign right now that is specifically targeting the people that are.
I want to see this.
That are naysayers about VR. So they've got one where it's like.
I think I've seen
they've got one that stars the person who is who runs like the workout app. I forget what it's called. But she's reading some fake online comment, and the comment's like, I don't like VR because I'm not a gamer nerd. And then she does her whole workout thing. She's like, VR is about working out. It's not.
I have seen.
Gaming.
Yes, I've seen that one. Yes, I've seen. Yeah.
So there's
a
couple of ads like that. There's another one where with their battle royale game where they're like, VR is dead until there's legit multiplayer, and they're like, what do you call this? This is multiplayer. Blah 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 blah. So they're definitely like trying to target those people that have dismissed VR in the past. But Cole, I think the argument that you're making about there being a renewed interest in VR means that there's absolutely opportunity for Sony to take up some of that mind.
Yeah, and maybe you're right, and I hope you are right, because I want VR to succeed, and I want to play awesome content.
Like, there's a big market potential. Like, we maybe have 20% of the market for VR unlocked.
So maybe it's the opposite of what I said.
More.
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's the fact that the Oculus Quest 2 has drove the interest up tremendously. And when PlayStation releases theirs, they're going to flock to it.
Yeah.
I was just kind of saying my initial thoughts were, well, everyone's already getting the Quest. Are they really going to jump on board? Oh, what do you have to play that? The Quest is just standalone. Yep. You got to have a PlayStation 5, which no one can get. You got to have the cord. You have to be sitting. We can't take this to our friend's house. We can't take it in the backyard when we're drinking and playing, like I was just wondering like that, but you may be right.
I think you're going to have a similar, like, the markets are going to divide into the kind of tiers that we're used to seeing. And the people that are really into PlayStation are going to get the PlayStation VR. The people who are not all that into gaming are going to go for the Quest. And the graphics whores are going to stay on PC because that's
right.
the best of the best. So like I think I don't think this is going to like totally reshape the typical pockets that people fall into with this kind of stuff. But I think like you go to your aunt's house and you've never played VR before and you check out the Quest and you're like, wow, this VR shit is really cool. I've got a PS5 and I know they have a Horizon VR game. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. Time to get a PSVR.
Yeah, and it works
the
opposite way
I was
too.
convinced to do that by the Quest, right?
And it works the opposite way too. Your aunt comes to your house. She tries your PlayStation VR. Oh, I don't have a PlayStation. Well, hey, you can get the Quest. That'd be perfect for you.
Right. Yeah.
So.
What we used to say on Saints and Sinners was that a rising tide lifts all boats, right?
And that's true.
And that's true. That's the case. Like the success of any one VR game bolsters the chances of all other VR.
Hey,
games.
when one cash register's ringing, they're all ringing.
There you go.
Dukes, I'm feeling nostalgic.
Oh no.
We're talking
Going
about
back to the Virtual Boy.
No, we're talking about VR, PSVR, and I'm like, I miss the Vita. Miss the Vita, yo.
This is their new Vita.
All the hottest goth chicks used to have a Vita.
The Vita is one of the most interesting things Sony has ever released, for sure.
Love the Vita. I love the Vita.
I never owned one.
Can I be
but
one of
I've
your
always
hot
wanted
goth
one.
chicks?
You can be one of my hot goth chicks any
Okay.
day, Ben. Subscribe to his OnlyFans. And us, and Dukes of Gaming. That's how you get access. God.
Oh man.
The world has changed.
The world has changed. Hopefully VR becomes more adopted in general because, like you said, a tide lifts all boats.